Hello from St. Petersburg.
Hello from BeHappyRussia.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, this year we'll celebrate the 75th anniversary of the victory in the Great Patriotic War. The war ended long ago, but it touched everyone. That is why we do not want to forget those horrible days, and we celebrate the Victory Day every year.
Now we are on Victory Square, where you can see the monument to the heroic defenders of Leningrad. It commemorates the victims and survivors of the siege of Leningrad. In the center of the square there is a high obelisk over there, and at its foot you can see a sculptural group which is called the Winners. It shows a soldier and a worker. Both of them, according to the sculptor, symbolize the unity of the army and the city during the Second World War. Over there you can see 26 sculptures looking towards the former front line, Pulkovo Heights, where we'll be going later. And the other part of the square, facing St. Petersburg, has a big open-air granite memorial and the underground museum. Both of them are worth visiting.
The memory of the Great Patriotic War of the Second World War will hopefully stay with us forever. Almost every family in our country has its own story to tell, army items to show, letters to read, military medals to preserve. Very few people who remember those days firsthand have survived up to now.
That is why it is so important to preserve family stories, films and songs about the Second World War, to keep annual immortal regiment processions, and of course to preserve such memorials and monuments like this one. The Great Patriotic War, as we call it in Russia, started for our country on the 22nd of June 1941 and was over on the 9th of May 1945. In most European countries, the Victory Day is celebrated one day earlier, on the 8th of May, when Nazi Germany signed the document of unconditional surrender and hostilities ended officially. It happened at 11 p.m. By European time, and it was after midnight Moscow time. That is why we celebrate Victory Day the following day, on the 9th of May.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at Pulkovo Heights, a chain of hills 18 kilometers to the south of St. Petersburg. The dominant position of Pulkovo Heights, with the highest hill of 75 meters above the sea level, made it possible to monitor the surrounding area down to Leningrad. It determined their importance in military operations during the Second World War. The hills were used as a natural defense line during the siege of Leningrad from September 1941 to January 1944.
We are still at Pulkovo Heights, at the Pulkovo Border Memorial, where in September 1941 the German offensive was halted. It is included into the Green Belt of Glory, which is the name of a big war memorial that goes around St. Petersburg and marks the historical front line. Altogether, there are about 60 different monuments and memorials in it.
The belt remains the gathering point for ceremonies to honor the memory of the deceased servicemen and to commemorate heroes, people, and not only them. Here you can see two legendary heroes of the Second World War, Soviet tanks, T-34 tanks. Using them, the Soviet army fought against the Nazi invaders. T-34 is considered the best tank of its time.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the War Memorial near St. Petersburg. We are 30 kilometers to the southwest of the city. We are in a little town which is called Peterhof. We always take our guests here to show them beautiful imperial cascades, fountains, palaces. But do you know that during the Second World War, Peterhof was very badly damaged, almost completely destroyed by Nazis. And only thanks to the work and high professionalism of the Soviet Russian restorers, we can see our little town in its original beauty.
It was here that the defense line would go through. This is another memorial, a part of green belt of glory around St. Petersburg. It was opened in 1961 when the eternal flame was lit here to pay respect to the fallen and to honor the Victory Day. Such symbols of internal memory can be seen in many cities of Russia and in former republics of the Soviet Union.
Here on Nevsky Prospect, the main street of the city, you can see the sign which says, "Citizens, this side of the street is the most dangerous while bombing." It is a sign of the Second World War time. It did save lives of many people. The point is that during the siege of Leningrad, the shelling of the city was mainly from the south, from that side. That is why this part, northern part of the street, was the most vulnerable, the most dangerous.
There are 4 historical inscriptions like this in St. Petersburg, and at least 3 times a year you can see fresh flowers brought here on the dates when the siege was started and was over, and of course on May 9, the Victory Day.
And now we are here in the heart of St. Petersburg on one of the biggest of 42 islands of our city. It's called Basil Island. And behind me you can see 2 red columns. They're called rostral columns. They became iconic images of our city. These are former lighthouses, and every time when we celebrate something in the city, on the birthday of St. Petersburg and of course on Victory Day, you can see how torches are lit on top of each of the columns.
It is the best way to watch Victory Day fireworks in our city. And in the evening at 10 p.m. the fireworks can be seen in different parts of our city, but the biggest ones are over there, by the wall of St. Peter and Paul's fortress.
Our city remembers the first victory fireworks very well. They were on January 27, 1944, after the Leningrad siege was totally lifted. That night, 24 historic volleys thundered from all the sides, from 324 guns and cannons, and city celebrations began. We do hope that this year we will have the victory fireworks too.
This is what we usually say to each other when we wish a happy Victory Day. С Днем Победы!
С Днем Победы!
С Днем Победы!
С Днем Победы!